What's up, guys? Vince Ruddy here, and if you hear cars in the background, yep, it be like that. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear it. And the thing about me is that due to what I hear, like someone walking the bathroom right next to me, or like beats of a car or something like that outside, it kind of affects my readings. Not too bad, but it's kind of like a distraction. I'm like, I got focus. Okay, I can do this. Oh, such a loud flush, in the toilet, like, stuff like that. But, that's what I have to get used to. Anyways, speaking of cars, my car was down and I repaired it. I had to replace the alternator, which cost 500. So that's my life. It feels like every week is a new problem. I've been dealing with this thing in my phone. This is sort of like an update that I sort of want to give. I've been dealing with this thing called Ghost Touch, which basically my phone just touches it on itself. It goes different places in certain apps. I remember I was using like for example the calculator and it just freaking wobbles everywhere, crazy. You just look it up, Ghost Touch on iPhone, and pretty much I did all I try to update it and I try to really somewhat fix it, clean it, or, figure out like how do I get rid of it. And pretty much the last thing I just need to get done is actually go visit an Apple store, which is like, a couple hours away from me. But yeah, that's something that I'm planning to do because listen, I know that's pretty much the whole Ghost Touch. For me, it's not really a big deal, but it might be a bigger deal if I don't really get it fixed. But also, I'm just watching over to see if it's really gonna get worse. But another week, another problem, and that's just gonna happen. And like just problems after problems also just has to come by. But also another problem, yes, there's two in 1 week. Whoa, that's a combo. That I think one of the videos that I posted, pretty much there was a problem with the audio. And I'm like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, pretty much it was a good read. It was Princess Jules. And it only took like a couple hours when only just one comment saying like the audio is broken, and I check it. I'm like, what? And the thing is that due to how busy I am, I just couldn't really, find time to actually, I guess, check my videos. You would think I would, but it's like, man, I really gotta catch up on this. Anyways, yeah, that's just what's been going on. There's a lot been going on. Okay, there is another VinzTalk that I'm gonna record later, but yeah, for this one, I'm just gonna talk about. The gaming thing is not in this one. There is a gaming edition of VinzTalk of the next one that I have to record later on. So that's gonna be interesting. And of course, like last week, I didn't have a Vince Talk. So for this Vince Talks, you got two Vince Talks, the gaming edition and the normal Vince Talk, which is this one, which is basically the one that is supposedly about me just getting out of certain news that's happening out there as I'm, supposed to. I mean, I heard about the whole Astro World thing. That's been crazy. Pretty much, I really can't go into depth with that, but man, that sucks for Travis Scott, aka freaking what they call him, like Cucumber Jack or whatever, like that. The only thing I can think about Travis Scott is Drake, and also that McDonald's special that he tried to make. Oh, Cactus Jack, that's his nickname. Okay, and pretty much if you try to really order like a Travis Scott meal in there, it probably wouldn't happen at all, and pretty much a good amount of employees probably wouldn't get it, or maybe they're just pretending not to get it. Like, who's Travis Scott? What's this Cactus Jack thing? And it's just like, can I just have my order? Like, I'm just trying to try this, stuff like that. And pretty much of course, I didn't because I haven't really eaten McDonald's in a while. But also, it's like he's going through a lot with this whole, Astroworld incident thing. And it's still in process. Even though it happened like a couple weeks ago, it's still like, somewhat of a serious and disturbing story that happened in some concerts. And some people may apply it to the same as like the Woodstock 99. Now, I remember checking out the Woodstock 99 documentary and stuff like that. And it's basically just, the Woodstock 99 it's bad. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's worse, but it is pretty bad. I mean, I remember seeing it. There's a lot of gross kind of things, that like something about the porta potties and how it's split. Ugh. And also how like people were dying from heat, and and how it's just like there's way too many people. Like, I don't know what was like in that time. Okay, I mean, Woodstock 99, I was probably still a toddler at that time. But yeah, I don't freaking know. Like, I don't know where I was at 99. I believe I was still in a carriage or something like that, or maybe in hospital. I don't know. I knew for a fact that I was a complete infant, so I wouldn't know anything about during around that time. I think I heard about the whole Y2K thing, and if anyone remembers that, which was a big deal. But yeah, yeah, pretty much they compare that to Woodstock 99. But I haven't seen much of the videos to see about the whole Astro World incident. And, my prayers goes out to the people that, the families that had their kids like in that, incident. That's pretty sad. And, it's horrifying. That's kind of like a worst fear. And when it comes down to concerts, some random idiot just happens to syringe insulate some syringe in random people. Like, what is that's really what's happening? You got Travis Scott trying to do a show, but he doesn't know what's going on down in the crowd. And the thing is that if I was like in that space, I would actually, really put like hard security or something. But then again, I wouldn't know. Anyways, moving on. Other stuff that has been going on. I heard about the whole shortages and inflation. I mean, I don't know why I put this in the list, but hey, it's a short list, okay? There is a big thing about SpaceTalk that I'm supposed to go into, but I also want to talk about the whole YouTube dislike thing. Is that really going to disappear? I really hope not. I really hope it doesn't disappear. The whole dislike bar and how the numbers of it. And pretty much there's so many creators also saying no of the idea of YouTube dislikes. And here's the thing. YouTube is like doing it for like mental health. Like, they're obviously doing it for corporations and businesses and whatever. And the greed of YouTube is just so surreal. And I believe in, like, all other alternatives. If anybody remembers, like, Firestory or like Vimeo or whatever, like these other apps that, yes, they're not YouTube, and boy, they are not better than YouTube, I can tell you that. But there has to be like any alternative to replace it. Hopefully that will be in the future, even though I don't want to lose amounts and want to start all over again when it comes to my sub base and stuff like that. And pretty much I would actually do a lot of, amazing content due to how, if it's really gotta go easy with copyright strikes and stuff like that. I'm not sure of the music and all that. But yeah, YouTube is just falling down to this hole of just like unfair decisions that they're just making, like the dislike button. And pretty much one of the main creators even spoke about this. I mean, there's bigger creators that spoke about this, from Leon's Tech, from people that has like millions and millions of subs. But also one person pretty much spoke about this and it doesn't agree YouTube doing this, was actually one of the creators of YouTube. Well, sort of the creators. It was one of the person that uploaded the first video, like, and all that. And pretty much, even though that's a test, it was like, there's a person named like Jawad Karim, one of the first uploaders in YouTube ever, and basically puts out the video of like him to the zoo, and it was only a couple seconds. It's literally like, sort of an established piece in YouTube history. But he even actually typed, he was typing inside the description of the video, and I don't know how many people actually found it or something like that. Aren't you supposed to actually have a Twitter and give your opinions? But I digress. Pretty much, he probably is not well known now. As he is right now, so the only way he can speak about this is pretty much through that description. Since there, I don't know how many people named Jawad Karim, even though I never heard that name. It could be a common name in the Middle East or something. But yeah, he said something about how, like, how this, the video was like somewhat like just unnatural, and how he doesn't agree in this, how this is a very, very bad idea if YouTube makes this move. And YouTube has been making certain moves where it's bad, but it always kind of melts down and always, pretty much wastes out there as, sort of like almost like thin air in a way. But for this one is almost like serious. And the thing is that for YouTube's like, way of going about this is like not very a good idea as well. Like, especially how, when it comes down to their, like, what is YouTube's values, due to how the amount of people and millions of creators in this, like, there are going to be some bad videos. There are going to be some videos where when you don't see the dislikes, that's going to be questionable. You can only really see the comments that is talking about this, but then they can erase the comments. Or if anything, why are they getting rid of the dislike bar, the dislike numbers? when you can actually eliminate those in somewhere in the settings. I never done that. I actually never seen a lot of creators done that, but I heard something that in the settings you actually can block out the dislikes and the likes button. Why am I drowning? What the heck is happening to me? But yeah, that's what I really heard that you can really do, like when it comes to editing, like, or setting up your own video. Of course, blocking comments and blocking, like, the settings of the like and dislike buttons. But it's something that is sort of like still, I don't know. I really hope YouTube. I get this feeling that YouTube will make that decision, but due to how serious it is, and due to how it's just like the majority of creators are like, no, absolutely not. And the amounts of, like, is it because that YouTube just can't handle the dislikes because of their YouTube Rewind, due to the amount of dislikes it has, or maybe it's because like the dislikes of whatever YouTube Spotlight YouTube channel puts out, and they put out a video and boom, dislikes on dislikes. Is that what's going on? People have the right to speak. They have, pretty much there is a mob, like, of course, that would dislike somebody because they probably don't like them and all that. But there is many good reasons why that there's a dislike button, why there's numbers of the dislikes, and there's a lot of creators that are not good, honestly. And that's, I wouldn't say hopefully I'm not in that list when there's people like, hate on me, like, Vince, you suck, dislike, and pretty much brings a whole army, and I did nothing. I'm just doing freaking reads. What do you want from me? But it's like, the dislike is sort of like a sense of policing of who, like, one of the creators that, deserves to get disliked, and pretty much, or they're just like, if you think there's going to be like good people in this world at all, there's a reason why there's a dislike. And I can go on about this analogy of like what YouTube is, perspective of just getting rid of the dislike bar. Like, it's just not worth it. Like, just let it go, YouTube. It's like, I know that there's worser things that they put out there, like the whole COPPA thing about, finding people with, the amounts of dollars or whatever. That's kind of a worry of me, and that's got to be a worry in the future of my, YouTube, journey. But also the thing about with this one is also like, it's also pretty bad, but to me it's like, well, there's nothing really to do about it. It's also not really going to end the world, or in YouTube in general. YouTube is still here, but it's like, man, you really just doubling down, YouTube. They're just like, like, come on, where's the conversation? I think Linus Tech, this tech YouTuber, is gonna have a conversation about this whole thing, and it's hopefully it resolves into a way where it's like, yeah, please don't, YouTube, come on. Be smart about this. I always try to wonder what's going on in YouTube's like sphere of creation, or sphere of different creators of or what it is in their office space and how they operate, because YouTube is bigger than ever and there's really no other alternatives. For some reason, there's alternatives for space, for like space flights. You don't need to go to a NASA. I mean, you got Blue Origin, SpaceX, and all these other alternatives to actually go to space. But here in this planet, we can't have an alternative of a different video, format, except for YouTube, a different media, like, and I guess it would be hard, but it's like, man, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Speaking of space, I gotta talk about space. Ooh, spicy. I mean, that's the best thing I can really come up with. Look, me talking about space and stuff like that. Look, I try to bring you at least a good amount of stuff to talk about. I have different segments here and there, and so this is one of them. Space talk. Okay, that's what I call it. That's what I bring to the table. And one of them is pretty much me talking about the Crew 3 mission and how that was launched and how that was a good launch. It was smooth. It was actually kind of quick, surprisingly, and pretty much not a lot of people were surprised. I think the viewership is almost like declining of just the amount of people are watching, like, oh, are they gonna make it and stuff like that. And of course they're gonna make it, because SpaceX, being the ones that actually launched into space to the ISS, International Space Station, was pretty clean. And also, I've been following up this whole KARI, which is the Korean Space Agency, and pretty much 3 weeks ago they actually launched, did their first ever space launch, but with no humans in it. Hopefully that actually comes to a success of actually them actually going to space, because out of all the places, from what I see in South Korea, like being the most futuristic place out there right now, and due to how fast their internet is and how they're very popular in terms of media and what they really bring entertainment wise, as like, millions and millions of it, is like, them going to like space would you would almost think like they would actually be somewhat successful actually getting to there, but it's not really that case at all because they haven't really launched anyone actually into space yet. I mean, there was the first person into space. It was actually a Korean lady that actually went there, and but it was through NASA. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. Also, spin launch. Imagine throwing rockets instead of launching them. So this is what this is called spin launch, and actually this brought into my attention because Elon Musk was actually sort of discussing with them, and I heard stuff about space spin launch and how they're really making a sphere to actually go. This is the second time I said sphere. They're making the spinny thing to actually go around to actually launch it to space, like an amount of speed, and boom, it just freaking goes high up to space, and then it just shoots out there. That's basically spin launch. I don't know. That's my poor way of actually really explaining spin launch, but it's like almost like it's literally throwing something to space would actually be helpful for transportation and stuff like that, and also yeah, our ludicrous future is actually back. The podcast that I've been really like looking forward to, like they're back. I just put this in the list because why not? And yeah, that's what I pretty much have to give. That's what I just have to give out there, and that's what I bring, and that's my space talk. Boom. Yeah, I'm also not done there. We also got a little bit of Tooncast, animation cast, or whatever it is that I have to bring when it comes to talking about animation for this, bits of like VinzTalk. And one of them is me, really, the Ladybug 100 special, and also a little update because I did make this list like weeks ago. I think like 2 weeks ago because I thought I was gonna make one, but I just didn't have enough time because it was finals week, and I could have brought that excuse in the beginning of this video, but there you go. Ladybug 100 episode special ephemeral. It was okay. I did a review of it. I think I did okay, but also I did a review of which I don't know if it's out now as I'm recording this, but I did a review of Miraculous Ladybug Gabriel Gress episode, and I feel like I don't know if I what I did there. I was kind of like lost, even though I had a list to talk about things. But man, I tried. I almost was about to close it down. I'm like, nope, I'm here. I'm gonna finish this review in a way that I'm supposed to finish it. But so that's the best I can really do for that review of Gabriel Gress. The episode, like I forget what episode. Look, there's just these mixture of episodes that are this very disorganized that Zagtoon just pull out. And I just had to try my best to really put them in a certain section. I mean, best way to see it is actually through the title, like, oh, this is episode blah blah blah, season blah blah blah. So yeah, that's what I have to basically give. Also, webtoon wise, I've been doing some new series in webtoons of stuff that I, was kind of afraid of because I know I'm very, I'm trying to be a little bit more lenient and more strict when it comes down to copyrights, and also seeing where these other webtoons are, because you never know where they're gonna be. Almost anything can happen to my channel, and I don't want that to happen at all. And also, there was this other show that I was actually looking forward to called Turning Red. Um, I don't know. I tend to put this in the list of Pixar. That's always my excuse. Yeah, I just happened to put this in the list. I don't know. I was just minding my business, and boom, there it is. I'm talking about this show movie thing. I heard I said Ghostbusters. I heard like the new Ghostbusters is very good. But one thing I've been watching is Arcane. Arcane, the League of Legends Netflix series is so good. It is so good. I feel like my love for it is almost gonna be like I'm starting to grasp away from my bias of boyfriends to freaking Arcane. Like that is the best show series ever. Like I don't know what to say. I just really enjoy Arcane so much. But yeah, that's what I have to give, and I'm still pretty much, that's it for like the Tooncast thing. I'm trying to work on really putting together an amphibia review of some of the episodes I read, and or not read, some of the episodes I watch, and that I don't know when that's gonna come out, but yeah, that's what I so happens to give. Just just the like when is gonna happen? I don't know. I don't know, but hopefully soon. But yeah, I'm also still doing some apartment shopping because right now nowadays it's not easy to get an apartment here in California. Let me tell you. And yeah, I guess that's what I have basically of just the certain topics that I have left for this VinzTalk, and of course to hear the racing. Like they're just like they don't eat, they don't sleep. You hear this? You hear this? Like like I know live close to a freeway, and I'm literally in the state with the most like racers, so disadvantage here and there. I saw this like room thing that some of the voice actors, and it was from a panel that one of my favorite cartoons that I actually did a panel of, and they were doing it in a Zoom, and they was doing it inside of this like almost like looks like a shower curtain thing, or a shower like vase or whatever, but it's actually a recording booth. And I wish I had my own recording booth. I don't know where I would put it. I don't know how I would actually really be comfortable actually being inside a recording booth. I can actually work some things out, but that's what I want one day. That's what I want. Also, an easier way of actually moving stuff via my phone. Like maybe I can have a freaking remote to move like go scroll down and stuff, and then I zoom in by clicking. That will be convenient. I will make millions and millions of reads, millions. But of course, I don't have that luxury. Instead, I'm recording stuff in a freaking bedroom with sounds and all around me, and I have to basically just, all of this recording is all best of just doing it, the best I can, basically. And if something happens, I can always edit it out. But I don't want to edit things out. I find myself being somewhat lazy of actually editing. I can't speak. Editing things out, because that's sort of like, at least to me, is a lot of work. I don't know. I just don't. I've been feeling this mood, this vibe where I'm just like, I don't want to work much. Then again, that's just my depression speaking to me. But I'm just like, there's these things that I want where it's, that's all I need to actually sort of be good, because I don't really get paid to do any of these reads. But I would like to have a luxury of actually having certain reads and doing it in a way where I feel more comfortable. You know what I mean? That's just one of those conversations in my head when I'm like, man, it would be nice to have that instead of freaking hearing boom boxes outside. I swear, it's annoying. It gets to you when you actually do these reads. Let me tell you, okay, if you've been recording like me, and the reason why, thank goodness I actually do these, like, I put out videos every like Friday to Sunday. If I was putting them every day, oh God, you're gonna see a very, very moody Vince, okay? You're not gonna like me, but but thank goodness I put it in a certain days, because my stress and my temper can't handle that. I just every single day, like, where's the payment? I know that, like, come on. I can only do so much, and some of the reads are not going to be good, because it's all about quality over quantity. At least that's the way I put it. I don't know. I've been going crazy. Am I scaring people? I'm sorry. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz, and all that goodness. See you when I see you. Peace, love.